The Middle East on the brink. How close is the next war? For decades, the Middle East has lived with the rhythm of tension, periods of uneasy calm followed by sudden explosions of violence. But today, diplomats, generals, and historians agree on one thing: the region feels closer to a major war than it has in years, not because of a single event, but because of many crises colliding at once. At the center of this pressure is a fragile balance of power that has begun to crack. Long-standing rivalries between Iran, Israel, and the United States have intensified, moving from words and warnings to covert strikes, cyber attacks, and proxy battles. Each side insists it wants to avoid full-scale war, yet every move brings them closer to it. Iran, under heavy economic sanctions, has expanded its influence through allied groups across the region. In Lebanon, Hezbollah has grown into a powerful military force. In Iraq and Syria, Iran-backed militias operate close to U.S. bases and Israeli borders. These groups act as pressure points, able to strike without directly pulling Tehran into open war. Israel, for its part, sees this expanding network as an existential threat. It has carried out hundreds of airstrikes in Syria, targeting weapons shipments and military installations linked to Iran. Each strike is calculated to stay below the threshold of war, but calculation depends on restraint, and restraint is becoming harder to maintain. United States adds another layer to this volatile equation. With aircraft carriers deployed in the Persian Gulf and thousands of troops stationed across the region, Washington aims to deter escalation. Yet deterrence cuts both ways. Military presence meant to prevent conflict can also become the spark for it, especially when rockets, drones, or missiles land near U.S. personnel. Beyond the military chessboard, political collapse and humanitarian disasters are fueling instability. In Gaza, cycles of violence between Israel and Palestinian groups repeatedly threaten to draw in regional powers. In Yemen, a long war has created one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, while regional rivals quietly compete for influence. Each conflict is local, but none is isolated. Energy markets and global trade make the stakes even higher. A single miscalculation in the Strait of Hormuz, where a significant share of the world's oil passes, could send shockwaves through the global economy. History has shown that economic panic often accelerates political decisions, sometimes toward war. What makes the current moment especially dangerous is speed. Drones, precision missiles, and cyber warfare compress the time leaders have to think. A strike that once took days to plan can now happen in minutes. Misinformation spreads faster than diplomacy. In such an environment, accidents can look like deliberate attacks, and retaliation can come before clarification. Still, war is not inevitable. Back-channel negotiations, regional mediation, and mutual fear of catastrophic consequences continue to restrain all sides. Leaders understand that a full-scale Middle Eastern war would not remain regional. It would pull in global powers, disrupt economies, and reshape borders for generations. The Middle East today stands on a knife's edge, not because everyone wants war, but because no one fully controls the forces now in motion. History shows that wars often begin not with a declaration, but with a moment when restraint fails. The question haunting the region is simple and terrifying. When that moment comes, will anyone be able to stop it?